In this demonstration, I'm going to build on a previous demonstration in which I showed you how to use an inbound webhook to trigger the execution of a package using the COZYROC Cloud service. In this video, I will show you how the package that is triggered can use data from the inbound webhook when it executes in the cloud or on premises. Before you watch this video, you should watch the one where I showed how to set up a webhook to trigger the execution of a package through the cloud. And this is a documentation page that talks about how to actually use data from the inbound webhooks in your package. And we'll be setting up parameters like they show here. So let's go take a look at the package in Visual Studio now. And this is the package that's almost identical to the one I used in the other video about setting up webhooks. It's just going to get the highest level of folders and files from my Dropbox account, and the package will be triggered by adding or deleting a file from my Dropbox account. And then it'll write the list of those folders and files to a Google Sheet. I've already set up the parameters here. And I set up my parameters to have the same names as what we used on our documentation page. And I put a value in for the data from body, but it's not going to be used. So now we'll go over to the cloud. And I've already uploaded the package and it's all ready to run. It's called Demo 2 using webhook data. And it's set up to be triggered by a webhook. And so we're going to take a look at this webhook, and this is where we're going to link my parameters, which is what this list shows, with inbound data from webhooks. So I click on Use Expressions, and then I start typing $ curly braces, and then I select webhook, and for this one I'll select body, and I apply it. And then again, I'll do it for the header parameter. Start with $ curly braces, webhook, headers. Apply it. And then the same thing for the query. And then I need to save it. And that'll save the whole webhook. I'm going to go ahead and go to the executions page, and then I'm going to trigger the execution of the package by deleting a file from my Dropbox account, and I have to confirm delete everywhere. And we'll go back to the executions page, and it tells me there are new executions. I click on reload, and there it shows. It briefly showed running and then it changed to succeeded. And if I click on the succeeded button here, and then I click on parameters, here you can see the data that came in for the data from body and the data from header webhooks. So I'm going to click on the I here, and there you can see the full string that came in for the data from body. Stay tuned to see how I use the webhook data in my package.
If you are integrating applications with SQL Server, you know it can be quite a hassle. With the COZYROC SSIS Plus REST framework, you can easily connect any web service. Create XML-defined configuration file. Process complex services with an embedded JavaScript engine. For additional power, you can use any .NET class in your code. All data is protected using the standard SSIS framework. Check the growing list of ready-to-use REST configurations. Start using the COZYROC SSIS Plus suite now. It's free for download and development in Visual Studio.
As a reminder, here's the data from the inbound webhook that we refer to as body. And what I want to do is just get this information, which is the user ID of my account with Dropbox, and write that to a Google Sheet. So I'm going to show you my package now with the updates I've made to it. Here are the parameters that I've set up, and I use the exact same name as the examples in our documentation that I showed earlier. And then I'll go over to the control flow. So I'm using a couple of COZYROC's JavaScripts, and the first one is the JSON to variables JavaScript. Here you can see the expression that I set up in the transform parameter, and what this will do is it'll just extract that user ID that I want. And then just to show you, the name of the script here is JSON to variables task, and you can find that on our website. And then after that I use another JavaScript, and here you can see how I set it up, and the name of this one is REST Web Service Request Task. And then finally, this is the data flow task from our original package that gets the highest level of folders and files from my Dropbox account and writes those to a Google Sheet. So I'm going to cause the package to execute now by adding a file to my Dropbox account. And then I immediately want to go over to watch the executions. If I click on executions, you can see my package is running now. And then it shows succeeded. So I'll click on that button, and there you can see the parameter information again, which we got the same results, of course, in our data from body parameter. And now I will go over to where it wrote that user ID. So there you can see that user ID that I pointed out earlier. And then here's a list of the highest level files and folders that it pulled from the Dropbox account and wrote to this Google Sheet. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to follow us on social media, here's how you can do that.